Hey there. So I've recorded this twice already, but I keep on having recording issues. Hopefully this one will actually work. But I just kind of wanted to break down how I made Tower, as I said I was going to. And it started out pretty pretty simple, and the whole thing was pretty simple, but I used a plug data patch. Plug data is this sort of like plug-in programming language thingy, and it's really cool. This guy, I don't know how to say his name, but it's Evan with a W. There's W's in his name that I don't expect them. They're not places I expect them to be, so I don't know how to say it. But he makes some really, really cool effect and synth plugins. So I do highly recommend you check him out. I'll have a link to some of his stuff, like the announcement for this one specifically, EB Dione, in the description. It's really neat. But I loaded in a bass sample from a song. I was helping a friend remix a track to give ideas, and I just happened to have this like made unique, and it was just kind of sitting there, short little bass sample. I can't really play it because it just kind of makes noise. Um, Now I don't have the exact like setup I did for the original recording because I deleted it, but I'm just kind of trying to like kind of remake it has gotten me at least somewhere. I just kind of messed around with the various knobs. I remember I turned noise up, turned phase blur up a decent bit, and gate. The spectral gate is probably the most important part in turning like a normal sound into the weird kind of sound that I was working with, because normally it's gonna sound like that. I'll actually just kind of leave it on making the noise, but you turn the gate up and it just kind of stays with the sort of ringing stuff. And that's the main effect I use. Then I switched it over to MIDI mode here, and I just kind of clicked randomly, and I recorded that because I couldn't find a way to actually hook up. I just used my typing keyboard as my MIDI keyboard per se, and I couldn't figure out how to actually make that work for this. And because I'm really clumsy and bad at clicking, I didn't want to try and record any like actual melodies or whatever. So I thought it would be fun to just try and record a big atonal mess, right? So I just kind of went around doing that, just pressing and doing things. I have the thing turned down, by the way, because things were loud. But it's a neat sound regardless. Like I just find this it's just so cool. I really enjoy it. But I took that, I recorded myself pressing buttons for a while, and with whatever I happen to get, I got this recording here. I don't actually know if it's re-stretched properly because I stretched it and then I actually did something dumb. Let me fix it. Why is this struggling so much? Oh, I know why. Uh, uh, give it a second. I pressed the stretching button, so now it's like, oh, we're stretching. Wow. And it's gonna take forever to let me press any buttons. But basically, I listened to the original recording. Never to let me actually show it to you. Unfortunately, it's a pretty long recording, all things considered. So messing around with the stretching has kind of made it weird. But I'm just gonna unstretch this so you can hear. Uh, this is the it's really just me clicking buttons and having a grand old time. The stuff underneath it is the latter half of the recording thing where I'm just trying to get individual one shots to resample. But I thought, hey, that sounds like a really sped up bit of like a spooky soundtrack from like when the quirky little RPG has the weirdly unsettling part. Like it has those sorts of vibes, but really sped up. So I'm thinking, well, if it's really sped up, why don't I slow it down again to see what it sounded like, quote unquote, originally? You know, because it's like 3 a.m., probably close to 4 a.m. at this point, and I'm not thinking straight, right? So I decided to do that, and immediately I kind of just fall in love with the sound of this. It's really neat the way it came together so fast. Like I was just recording for goofs and gaffs, slowed it down, and boom, I had something I was just kind of like obsessed with. But you know, it's not perfect yet. So unfortunately, my friend has gotten me cripplingly addicted to bit crushers. If I don't have a bit crusher on every single sound, I feel like it's not good. I don't know why. So I put on Crush. This is a distortion and bit crush plugin thing that I found, and I just kind of twiddle the knobs with it. I think it's neat, but immediate, just massive change to the sound. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit to make sure you can hear my voice. But it immediately does quite a bit to make it sound like it did, you know. Then I added a soft clipper. This kind of makes things louder, honestly, but I like what it does. I don't know if it's doing much, but whatever it's doing, I like it, so I'm happy. Then some reverb. You don't really notice the reverb, at least not until the very end, but it definitely helps a little bit in making it a bit smoother overall. And then some EQ. I didn't really put any thought into this. I just kind of twiddled with some things, and I'm like, you know what? That sounds good enough. And it just kind of. I did that all within the span of like 5 minutes, and then I exported it, drew up something in pixel art, and voila. It really isn't all that special, and I barely put any effort into it, and I'm kind of disappointed that it's my quote unquote return to YouTube or whatever the hell. But at the same time, it was fun, and I think it's neat, and I guess that's what counts. Breaking down how it was made is definitely gonna make it like really boring to some people though. But whatever. And I was gonna do like this thing. The reason it took so long to make this video is I wanted to do a thing where I like scroll down and oh there's a snippet of a track that I've been working on and then I play it and it's really cool and everybody loves it. I couldn't make anything. I really tried. I just could not come up with anything at all. So I gave up and just decided to record this as is. So, whatever. Bye.